we're going to talk a little bit about housing. I used to do a lot of reporting on housing back in the day as it was collapsing, the pricing, the tax revenue collection based off of housing prices, because that's how most cities and counties get their revenue, is through property tax, and the way they set the property tax is based on what the house is worth. And to start with, I'm going to say, do you remember in 2005, 2006, max prices of all houses, you know, housing was at its max. I remember reading a local story here in Tampa that was in the newspaper, and it was I think he was retired, may have been retired, may not, but he was a military guy, you know, somewhat higher ranking than average, but not like, you know, real big. I can't remember, but guy had, you know, probably had a decent salary, not real awesome, but probably definitely a decent salary. It was him and his wife. They just bought a lot. Trying to think of where this was. I can't remember. I don't know if it was Hyde Park or not, but it was kind of a little up and up area, if you will. And it wasn't a lot. I mean, I'm talking, you know, half an acre of land, which is, you know, kind of a lot in the city. You know, most people have a tenth, an eighth. We got lucky with a quarter of 1 acre. We're on a corner a lot at my house, but anyways, that's average. So he bought that, and he's got his dream house getting built. It's already, I guess it was already in the process. They already put the money down, the builder's there, you know, building our dream house. It's right, and I think it was on the river too, so naturally, again, it's probably worth, you know, that alone makes it worth more. But the amount of property tax that these people had to pay, trying to think of what the number was. For me, at the high of housing, I think we were around $1,900. It may have been around $2,000 a year. And I know some of you are like, what? That's child's play, man. I'm over here paying, you know, $6,000, you know, up in New Jersey or New York, but that's typical. And also the salary increase up in that area is also typical, so it kind of washes each other out. But down here in Florida, you shouldn't be seeing that, you know, unless you're in these multi-million-dollar homes on the coast, you know, Vero Beach, or even on the West Coast over here. But this guy was like, you know, we can't even afford the house now. We've already basically gotten started. It was like $9,000 or $10,000 a year for property taxes. And he's like, by the time we bought the property, got everything going, finally got the down payment for the guy to build the house, you know, the company, all the property prices started booming out of control. And theirs doubled basically from where they were at. So theirs was like $4,500 a year, ballooned to like $9,000. Like, we can't afford that now. You know, that's a massive amount of increase in a year and a half, or whatever it was. And there was a newspaper article, they were interviewing him and that kind of thing. So now, because all of that happened, and banks lended people money that they never even checked to see if the person had a job, did not do any due diligence, and in court, that's been fought against and won by people who prove, well, the bank never saw that we were qualified, and because they didn't do their due diligence, there's some kind of law under the financial side of things, you know, for the financial sector, whatever you want to say, that basically, if they get involved in any kind of lending or borrowing, and then there's a lawsuit or whatever, they have to do some due diligence. They can't just give some guy on the side of the street some money and then demand he pay it back when they never even checked to make sure the guy had a job. Not only did he have a job, he's been getting paid at that job for X amount of time. It's been this amount of money. He's got these kind of bills. How does that fit in with the loan? How can he pay it back, etc. They can't just give you money for fun and then expect you to pay it back without any repercussions. And people have gotten off the hook because of that. So the whole housing crisis is exactly that. Everybody in the banking industry lent people money who many times already knew they couldn't afford it, and those who did have jobs and actually filled out the thing and said, look, I make, you know, combined income, we make $45,000 a year. We need to change that to about 60. So what do we do? Well, I'm not telling, and this is what they would say. This is what they would say. I'm not telling you what to do, but the chances of this getting verified is slim to none. So you could you make $150,000 and it's not going to matter. But I can tell you, looking at this, this probably needs to be around $65,000 a year to get qualified. And looking at your other bills, you should be able to make this payment anyways. It should be okay. Right? They're the expert telling you this is how you get a loan today. You've never had one. A lot of new people went out and got houses. I mean, society didn't stop because the houses prices were high. People were still getting married. People were still getting out of school. People had to live somewhere. Some people, you know, that process of buying a house did not stop because the prices were so high, because everybody was approved. That was the motto. Everybody's approved. So the banks approved everybody. No due diligence. Give a guy a loan. Give him a second loan. Give him a third loan. Doesn't matter. Just give him a loan. Oh, you don't even have a job? Just put you do. We're not going to check anyways. What would the average person do? Oh man, I don't want to rent and waste my money and throw it down that hole. I can get a house. And I know it'll be tight, but all I gotta do is put down, I know I'm gonna get a job soon, or this job I just got, I know it's gonna give me a raise soon. We'll be okay. Whatever you tell yourself. This is just common human behavior. So the other common human behavior of rape people with high prices of housing. Give them a loan, give them a loan, give them a loan. Everybody's approved. Prices just keep going up. And now that backfired, as obviously expected, the prices are being destroyed. And in places where the jobs are also being destroyed, the housing prices have plummeted so bad that people have walked from these homes, some of which who have owned the homes, and saw their whole neighborhood going down so bad that they just said, we're walking away, put it up for sale for anything, let's get out of here. Sometimes, and matter of fact, a lot of the time, from this article I just read, the government owns the house now, probably due to back taxes, or flat out, you had a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, whatever loan, you got stuck, couldn't pay it, whatever, job problems over in this area are rampant, so you just walk. Now Fannie Mae, aka the government, federal government, owns the house. And there are houses right now, and trust me, you wouldn't want to move into any of these, but this is just the example I'm giving, being sold on the market for $1. Some hundreds of dollars, some just $2,000 or $3,000. Some literally $1. I'm not kidding. There was one in I forget where of New York. There was a bunch of them in Detroit, naturally. And everyone looks at Detroit now, that hellhole, that slum. Do you realize per capita, I think Detroit used to be one of the highest paid areas in the country. Of course, back when car manufacturing was, rampant over there. Now it's been shipped off to China, so sorry about your luck there. But they're selling houses for $1. If that is not a sign of where in the hell your country is heading, I don't know what is. Sure, you can turn on the news and you see the same news bozo reading the same script, and the jobs numbers came out today and they were better than expected. Market rally, market rally. Next month comes by, that guy's not talking about the revision from last month when he just said the housing or the jobless numbers are good, better than expected. Next month, revision. They weren't nowhere near as good as they thought. Matter of fact, they were down a little bit. Down from what they expected. The revision. No one talks about that. It gets posted. You'll see a little blip on some of the media sites, but no one's going to really talk about it. They're going to give you the new jobless numbers. And this month, better than expected. Sometimes it's so bad that even though they know they're going to have to revise it, it's going to be horrible, so they just say, screw it. Just this month, say it was this. Below the average, yeah, the market may not rally. Although, the stock market loves to rally on bad news. and good news, which is not possible, which shows you that it's rigged too. And now all of a sudden the market's been declining day after day, day after day, day after day. And yesterday, I think it was up. I'm going to take a little peek here. Yesterday, it was up 72 points. Let's see if we can get a pre-market analysis here. Nope, not on the Dow. A lot of times you can look at the bank stocks and figure out if that's going to happen. And right now the bank stocks are down in the pre-trading, pre-market. So it's usually a sign that everything else will be down too, such as the stock market, the Dow Jones, etc. But the bottom line is, housing is not getting better. It's been back on the decline. It never got better just because there was a month or two of good numbers. Oh, look. And again, I question those numbers because who gives them to us? The government. Housing market was up and really? Well, last time I checked, the December numbers were worse than terrible. And I'm seeing houses being sold for $1 now. And again, you wouldn't want to live in these houses because some of the stipulations for you to get this house for $1 is you've got to have at least $5,000 on the side to bring them back into not being in code violation. Some of them. And again, and if that's the case, you probably question, well, where's the neighborhood in the first place? And you would look and say, yeah, I don't want to move there. However, back in the day, when things were good old Detroit, car manufacturing of the world, man, those were nice areas. Real nice areas, as a matter of fact. Now they have turned into slums, decrepit, destructive areas that just look like you know, World War III just happened over there. Unbelievable. Proud to be an American. Fight for the rights of every man, except for you, and you who happen to be Americans. Take care.